Alright, everybody. My name is Jamie, and we all know what's been going on with the crazy election stuff. The news refuses to cover anything and everything, turning a blind eye to all the fraudulent crap. But let's see what's broke on Twitter this morning, because, it's epic. Like, Democrats, Biden, huge cover-up stuff. It's all done. They're busted. And Democrats need to go to prison this time. Like, the Russia crap, everything, Clinton, emails, nothing. There's no justice whatsoever. So let's see what we got on Twitter here. So this general has attempted to get his message out several times through several outlets. Everybody calls him a conspiracy theorist, laughs at him. But now he's getting an audience with Trump's attorneys. Let's see what this says right here. And he's just kind of echoing what he's been saying the last few days.
It's like Fox that are ignoring all the mainstream media. They flipped on us. They do not want to hear it. They won't let people like me on. And they don't want to hear anybody mention it. They discount it completely. But we know it's true because we watched it being prepped. They used it in the primaries.
McInerney believes if not for vote tampering, this would have been an overwhelming win for President Trump, but that this information must be given to the right judges so they can act on it, and quickly. If that doesn't happen, he predicts it could have dire consequences for future elections.
If Republicans lose this election, they will never win another one again.
So that's Thomas McInerney, and he is a retired military general. And what he's talking about is this Hammer scorecard stuff that several people, including one recently on TV, Georgia's elections official under the Secretary of State, came out and said, my friend over at the CIA, blah, 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 says this Hammer and scorecard stuff, complete hoax, blah, 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 blah. But seems it's getting some attention now. And we've all heard the Dominion voting systems. Oh, that's just a hoax, blah, 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 blah. But now we got a connection with the Clinton Foundation. Georgia government officials receiving kickbacks of reportedly $106 million. But let's keep scrolling down here because there's some crazy tweets. Oh, and if you missed it, yesterday, of course, barely covered by anyone, Sidney Powell, Rudy Giuliani, and this other attorney, I can never remember her name, but gave an opening statement, actually went on camera and said, look, we can't release all of the evidence. Like, this is not a trial of public opinion. This is going to be a trial that's held in the Supreme Court and, all the courts under that. But laid down the law. That it's over. Like, they done. Sidney Powell said she's going to release the KRAKEN. She has. She's still continuing to. But I love Sidney Powell. She's awesome. She has a pristine record of honesty and integrity. And just look up Sidney Powell and the press conference yesterday. Crazy emotion in her voice, like just showing like how astounded she is that like the government has got to what it is today, which is ridiculous. Way out here in Alabama, we're so far removed from politics in the rural areas of Alabama that for the most part, like presidential elections and everything, there's not a huge effect on Democrat, Republican out here, but I lean right, big time Republican. So, it hasn't always been, like, back when Obama won, not a big deal. We didn't see a lot of changes or anything like that. But when Trump got elected, massive changes. The economy has spiked, like, jobs everywhere, reaching all the way out here. So, so like I said, let's scroll down here and see what we got here. COVID. Of course, Democrats wanting to lock down the country again. We already know that, how many businesses went bankrupt from the first lockdown? And we have 2 approved 90% plus vaccines. and that there is reports of a third that's just going to go into third trial testing. So, I mean, we're supposed to have 3 vaccines that are 90% plus effective, 94.5%, 95% effective, and depending on your age group, you know, like depending on how old you are, how young you are, like your immune system's already 98, 99% effective against combating this. I mean, the survival rate is 99% depending on the age group. But so 2 vaccines, I believe Pfizer, Moderna. Vice President Mike Pence has already said that there's 100 million vaccine kits ready to be shipped immediately. I mean, like on the ground, ready. So the stock market's going up. COVID's going to be gone, over with, a thing of the past. So let's see here. So, of course, the media stuff, Facebook, Twitter, and their Congress Oversight Committee hearing stuff the other day were grilled by Republicans with legit concerns on censorship. Not just the president, but anybody, you know, speaking your mind. These are supposed to be platforms that you can speak your mind on, not platforms where they choose who is heard and who's not heard, who can post something, who can post something. That's what they're talking about, the difference between a publisher and a platform. Like, which are you? Are you a platform that supplies like this, you know, this place for everyone to congregate and voice their opinions and everything, freedom of speech? Or are you a publisher where you only let certain people say what they want? And if someone says something you don't like, you censor that, you remove them. That's being a publisher, and that's what the whole thing is over and everything. But so here's a retweet from Sidney Powell, the attorney I was speaking about. It seems every post this duly elected president makes gets a warning. I'm talking about President Trump, because he's still the president. Even if we did lose, which we haven't, it's not over. It's going to be turned around. There's plenty of evidence, and I'm telling you, people need to go to prison. So, funny how the owner of Obama and Biden's ShadowNet partnered with Facebook, and now Facebook admits to the app that allows all the platforms to coordinate their attack on free speech. So, Facebook, Twitter, and probably Google, or I don't know what the other one is. So the Republicans asked in the Congress Oversight Committee, they said, is there any, are you guys like working together? Is this program that, you know, you got the people in the top of the business, like, are you communicating with the up and ups in Twitter? Are you communicating with the up and ups in Google? And like, they're basically monitoring, sharing information, and like this, I mean, crazy coordinated censorship attack. Like, they're in on this Democrat bullcrap. I mean, it's crazy. It is crazy. They refused to answer. Like, they were literally asked the questions and refused to answer. Like, they said, Zuckerberg said that I can't comment on that data. I'll get back with you later. And Jack Dorsey was just like, plead the fifth. So, let's see here. Scrolling on down. Because there is a bombshell I want to get to. Let's see. So, there's also an ex-governor, a Republican governor or mayor or something, was a registered poll watcher. And I don't remember if this is Michigan or Pennsylvania, but so he's alleging that voting machines were connected to the internet, that he has proof, but he's been shut down left and right. Of course, no one wants to cover when there's actually proof. They want to turn a blind eye and just scream like CNN. Oh, yeah, there's no evidence over there. Well, I mean, we can't see it, so it must not be true. And censorship. So, let's see. Michigan voter fraud witness Barry Doherty describes what he saw. Oh, network voting machines. So, voting machines cannot be hooked to the internet. I mean, that just throws in a whole nother aspect of, oh, hey, come hack this and come fraudulently throw in some votes for Biden if you want to. And there's proof, supposedly, and no one wants to cover it. Let's see. Dominion voting has been rigging American elections for at least a decade. Look at this arrival back in 2012. Same issues. So this is a vendor. Well, let's see here. Well, we'll come back to that one because the other Dominion was really good. Donald Trump, will these charts in court case? We'll use these charts in court case. The election was a hoax. Thank you, Justin. Here we go. Okay, so these are some charts that became available yesterday or the day before, and today is the 20th. So 2 days ago, I believe, and they got these graphs here that show the live data coming in on election night. And everything looks pretty standard for the most part, and then you start having these spikes for Biden. And of course, we all know they stopped counting several states, swing states, at the weirdest times. But we can click here, and 6:31 a.m. Okay, that night at what 10:30, 11:30, 9:30, whatever time it was that night, sent everyone home. Said, okay, we're done for the night. We're not going to count anymore. Georgia's got a busted water pipe that turned out to be a leaky toilet that had nothing to do with it. There's an investigation. I mean, just a bunch of BS bullcrap. And so here we go. This data all through the night. And then at 6:31 a.m., when we all go to bed and President Donald Trump is leading. I mean, I've screenshot the numbers before I went to bed that night because we already started hearing rumors about fraud and cheating and all this. So all of the swing states, and of course they wouldn't call any for Donald Trump, but all the swing states Trump was winning in. Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, Florida, Georgia, everything. So Arizona, Nevada, of course, refused. They were the first ones to just drop out. Well, we're going to take the next 3 days off. We don't want to be a part of this election counting stuff and whatnot, and it's just crazy. It's crazy. The election was rigged. It was stolen, and anybody that doesn't see that or at least think this is suspicious, has lost their mind. Has lost their freaking minds. So 6:31 a.m. a vote dump of 149,772 votes came in. Biden received 134,886. 96% of that dump. I mean, what kind of sense does that make? Dictators in freaking Cuba, past Cuban elections, Venezuela, these elections where dictators rule with an iron thumb and do these fake elections, completely orchestrated, get 94%, 93% of the votes, and they're doing it themselves. And here we have a free and fair election in the United States of America, and Sleepy Joe, no ground game, not doing squat, hidden. I mean, how many times have we seen Joe Biden? They didn't even want him to do the debates, and they have kept him hidden. And oh, hey, we weren't counting in before we said we're going to start back up at 9 a.m. But here we are at 6:31. Let's dump in these crap ton of fake votes. So yeah, ridiculous. Anyways, just like and share that. Scroll down here. First of all, please at least spell her name correctly. Alright, so that other attorney was Jenna Ellis. So Rudy Giuliani, Sidney Powell, and Jenna Ellis. Sidney Powell is either going to go down as a courageous hero who risked everything for truth, or a liar who exploited fake news for personal gain at the expense of honest conservatives. Not a lot of other possible outcomes at this point. So this dude is sitting on the couch, not doing squat, spreading, just being a dummy. I mean, at least she's out there doing something, Cabot Phillips. I mean, what are you doing? Sidney Powell, everyone, if you look back at her track record, she's Michael Flynn's attorney, and if you look back, she has never, ever said anything that she did not have 100% proof of. Her honesty, integrity, patriotism, she is what the rest of the attorneys across the nation should strive to be. I mean, if there was a president of attorneys, Sidney Powell. King of kings. Oh, God. So, like I said, they had that, press conference last night. Look, here's a little bit of it. Let's see what they got to say.
This is stunning.
Sidney Powell.
Heartbreaking, infuriating, and the most unpatriotic acts I can even imagine for people in this country to have participated in any way, shape, or form. And I want the American public to know right now that we will not be intimidated. American patriots are fed up with the corruption from the local level to the highest level of our government, and we are going to take this country back. We are not going to be intimidated. We are not going to back down. We are going to clean this mess up now. President Trump won by a landslide. We are going to prove it, and we are going to reclaim the United States of America for the people who vote for freedom. This is stunning.
And that is Sidney Powell. Like, I'm telling you, you can hear the emotion in her voice. Like, she is just mad, furious. She's the one that said a couple days ago, or a week ago, that she was going to release the KRAKEN. And it's been a little growing little hashtag thing. And she has released the KRAKEN. I mean, there is plenty of evidence, people. Tons of signed affidavits. Okay, there's only 8 in one of the states. There's only 8 available to the public, but one state 230, another Wisconsin or Michigan, and the other one is 220 something, 100 and something in Nevada or some whatnot. And now there's the alleged Native American voting scheme over in Nevada, where they were trading prizes and money and freaking gift cards for Democrat votes, cash money and all this stuff. So anyways, there's tons of evidence. And look, go to Newsmax. Like, everybody, like, forget Fox News, CNN. I mean, you should have seen it. So Rudy Giuliani, if I can find that clip, like, oh my gosh, I'm going to put it with this video. But so Rudy Giuliani went on right after Sidney Powell at the press conference. And after he spoke, one of the reporters asked a question. And she said something along the lines of, I'm not sure exactly what she said, but it was a really kind of obvious dumb question, and he laughed at the question, like kind of chuckled a little bit, and then he said, "I'm sorry, which network are you from?" And she said CNN. And Rudy Giuliani, Sidney Powell, and the Jenna Ellis, like, everybody on the stage. And I guess, I don't know, the reporters around her, but everybody on stage, like, belly laughed, like laughed at her. So CNN has become a laughing stock of fake news. I mean, they screamed Russia, Russia, Russia for 3.5 years. 3.5 years. And what, President Trump can't have 3.5 weeks to follow the Constitution? That, I mean, he's allowed to bring all concerns, what have he? I mean, it's ridiculous. But anyways, they laughed at the CNN reporter. It was hilarious. Let's see here. Jenna Ellis. Newsmax. Go to Newsmax. Like, they do lean right. So, I mean, they can't say they're not biased, but they openly admit it. But they don't have a couple of little reporters off to the side, you know, we're not going to follow them for 5 years, 10 years, and all of a sudden on election night there's freaking crazy liberals. It's crazy, man. Fox News is crazy. Like, what happened? But anyways, Newsmax, great, like, spot on, lean to the right, but they're still being fair. I mean, they're not targeting Democrats. They're not giving Trump states that aren't his. They aren't. I mean, they're fair. Even, like, you can. I mean, that's the thing about Republicans. You can lean to the right and still be, like, fair and just and stuff and everything. And I mean, we don't go burn freaking buildings down, busting out windows. Like, we have a regular protest and hold up a freaking sign. Like, so anyways, like, the whole point I want to make this video, and I haven't even got to it, I keep getting sidetracked here. So, oh yeah, Biden turned 78, will be the oldest president. Would have been if he was fairly elected, but, you know, he's been in politics for how many years now, and he's not going to see the White House, so blah. Let's see here. So this is what they said. This is their opening statement they held. Let's see here. And then some idiot guessed Trump became president by accident. And of course, that was after they did that press conference, and, you know, they probably had a meltdown over there is what she's saying. Pennsylvania House Committee passes election audit. Likely won't be complete before certification of vote. So the Republicans, they got together, not just the Republicans, but the Pennsylvania House Committee had a vote to do an audit because, of course, everyone is rushing to certify their fake vote. Michigan's crap, or Wisconsin, whichever one, is not 70%, I think that was Michigan, 71% of their absentee ballot numbers don't match up with their registered voters. And they were trying to pressure the Republicans into voting to certify the numbers. I mean, so they refused at first. They got death threats, called racist, all this stuff, threats to their family. And so they're like, okay, leave us alone. Because they said that they posted their phone numbers, their address, all this stuff on TV or on this stupid idiot's YouTube platform and stuff. So they bullied them into certifying the vote and voting pro. So after everyone was all excited that we have some patriots standing out here and everything, 2 hours later it says there's a new vote. Everything was voted pro to certify the vote unanimously, as long as there is a third-party audit. Which, come to find out, that was not in writing. They were not going to hold to the audit, and then the threats part came out. So they legally rescinded their vote, and hopefully they got somebody helping out with protection and stuff. And I believe the president and some attorneys have reached out to them for affidavits and stuff like that and everything. But the Pennsylvania House voted, and in a 15-10 result, 15 Republicans voted. All 10 Democrats voted no. The Democrats are trying to suppress and hide all of this garbage. So, anyways, Pennsylvania is going to have an audit, and they had voted on a larger sample size is what it was, because it was just a ridiculous small number that it would have been like some crappy fake Georgia recount. Let's see here. Sidney Powell. So again, this Dominion voting systems, that is the biggest piece of damning evidence. This is going to be the shocker that blows the country away, and you're not going to have a choice but to believe that this is happening, to believe this, okay? So the Dominion voting systems. So Eric Coomer was taped speaking with Antifa, radical leftist crazy stuff. Go away, you stupid thing. So, let's see. Okay, so Eric Coomer is a strategist for Dominion voting systems. And there was an undercover reporter that was trying to get inside Antifa, or was, I don't know. Anyways, he was doing something with Antifa, trying to breach to their stuff and kind of get damning evidence with them. And overheard a conversation, or was part of a conversation or something, a phone call. And you got this Antifa guy, like, what the F are we going to do if President Trump wins again, blah, 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 blah. And this Eric Coomer, who works for Dominion, says, don't effing worry, he's not going to win, we've got this under control. So the reporter at the time didn't think nothing of it, because, of course, no one heard of Dominion, or, it was not any kind of run-of-the-mill name for voting software until this crap with the election came up. So he kept digging deeper and deeper and deeper. One of his friends said, check out this article a few days ago, and here's Sidney Powell, the Dominion stuff, and he's like, holy crap. He digs into it. He's some type of data analyst, smart guy and everything, is able to get to this guy's Facebook, and this dude is insane. Like, the dead president stuff, the dead pighead, whatnot, blah, 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 anti-USA Semitic, whatever, just crazy stuff. And talk to one of the guy's friends. The guy's like, I don't want to be part of this, blah, 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 blah. But, so the dude's insane. He's got a nuclear physics background and is a strategist for Dominion voting systems. But, like I said, this Dominion stuff has more and more proof coming on board, and it looks like if you were in a state and you voted on an electric voting machine, besides Texas, because they refused this Dominion software several times, citing like in their freaking government paperwork that the security is subpar, they're non-existent, terrible, like this is so easily, like, crap. Dominion software is crap, but we got 30 some odd states that chose to use it so they could get some kickbacks and blah blah blah. So heads better roll. But yeah, that's the big deal right there, is like, listen to this.
I'm with Joe Altman from Denver, Colorado, who broke a huge story last week about Eric Coomer, who works for Dominion, which is based in Denver. And Joe was on a Antifa line where they were speaking with Eric Coomer. And when was that, Joe?
It was end of September, so I think it was around the 27th of September.
So very recently. And had you been listening in for a while, or was this just a one-off thing?
No, we were trying to infiltrate Antifa because obviously we've had massive problems in Denver.
Oh yeah.
Started FEC United, and they kept writing bad stuff about.
Anyways, like, get on Twitter, get on YouTube, look up Eric Coomer. Like, this is a 20-minute interview, okay? So that's the reason I'm stopping at is it's a 20-minute interview. He goes on to say he overheard the phone call that I just mentioned a minute ago. He overheard this phone call, and he didn't think much of it at the times back in September. And, you know, like I said, no one knew what Dominion was, and I mean, unless you just happen to deal with electronic voting machines. So he has this he overhears this conversation, or he's there. I don't know if he has infiltrated Antifa and that's how he's overhear this stuff or what, but that's what it sounds like. So we've been hearing all the Dominion stuff and the scorecard, the hammer stuff, and Sidney Powell. I mean, like I said, she's never lied before, and we got the Federal Elections Committee chair of the whole country jumping on board. Like, you know, he said if Sidney Powell says it, he believes. So I think the whole thing is going to be focused around this Dominion thing. Like, this is going to be, it's going to blow everyone's mind. There was a tweet, like, you know, at freaking Mitt Romney's, he is the leftist, he's the most democratic Republican I've ever seen. Like, it's ridiculous. But anyways, so Trump was telling, you know, Mitt Romney, like, hey, I was talking about this back in 2012. You might want to, probably would not have lost to Obama, you know, because some of this Dominion stuff's been around for a minute. Anyways, 2 Georgia election directors put in a 2-week notice drawing skepticism. So all the stuff out of Georgia, okay? So we have their elections committee guy come on every day since election night. The Secretary of State, Raffensperger, whatever the crap his name is, come on every other day saying, there is no fraud in Georgia. Georgia, we don't allow that crap, blah, 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 blah. So they've been a Republican red state forever, and just, you know, swing state this year and everything, and blue in the middle of the night after a toilet water leak, like ridiculous. So Dominion voting systems, again, like all of these states, the Dominion voting systems, Democratic, well, except for Georgia. Georgia has Republicans, but they're the ones supposedly paid $106 million. But so it all comes back to Dominion voting systems and Democratic ran governments in these states besides Georgia. Georgia is just, I guess, like I said, get paid $106 million, and I guess you'll turn blue for $106 million, sell out your whole damn state and country. I'm like, thought Georgia was better than that. But anyway, so 2 of their election directors put in a 2-week notice right in the middle as they're finishing up this recount and stuff, and they've already found 3 memory cards from 3 separate counties with missing votes or unreported votes, forgot about, didn't follow the procedure, blah, 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 blah. So, I mean, it's coming slowly. It's coming unwound slowly. It's coming undone at the seams. And like I said, we need to see people go to prison, or the people are not going to have faith in this government. It's been slowly, the faith in the government, everyone, Republican, Democrats, been going down, 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 down. Congress, I mean, everything's been ridiculous, and this is like the icing on the cake. Here is the two out of, let's see, was it Michigan? Yeah. So the 2 Republicans out of Michigan, from Wayne County, Michigan, the 2 canvassers that were bullied, had their death threats, blah, blah, blah. Like, listen to this.
Two GOP members of the Wayne County, Michigan Board of Canvassers say they were bullied and intimidated into voting to certify the county's election results for Joe Biden there. Now, their initial concern was the fact that voting...
It's only taken 2 weeks for Fox News to get on board.
Totals couldn't be reconciled in 70% of absentee counting precincts in Detroit. Now, Democrats viciously attacked and threatened the GOP canvassers over their concerns, even calling them racist. Well, today, despite all of that intimidation, Monica Palmer and Bill Hartman rescinded their votes, and they joined the Ingram Angle exclusively. Thank you both for being here and having the courage to speak out. I want all our viewers to see how you both were treated during this process. Watch.
The stain of racism that you, William Hartman, and Monica Palmer have just covered yourself in is going to follow you throughout history. Your grandchildren are going to think of you like Bull Connor or George Wallace. And Lord knows, when you go to meet your maker,
that's
your
the D-bag
soul
guy.
is going to be very, very warm.
He's unhinged. Monica, this is just the kind of harassment that you faced after your initial vote. He's a fairly prominent business person. What have you experienced since?
It's continued. He's used his social media platform to repeatedly dox me, post my phone number, my home address, my email address, and encourage people to stop by my house and share their anger with me.
Are you kidding me? So this man with all of his money and all of his business contacts and all of his social media decides to pick on you in what social media has said is you can't do, and to frankly put your life in danger.
So where is the censorship, the protection, the violating the policy and all this stuff and everything for this lady who's just trying to do like her job? Okay, so 70% of the absentee voting ballots in Michigan, or Wayne County, Michigan, don't match up, as in wrong. They don't need to be certified. They need to be corrected, audited, find out what's wrong, and then we'll certify it. That's the freaking constitutional process. So Democrats blow up on them. They've been trying to say there's no fraud this whole time, there's no evidence, and someone actually does the right thing just because they're Republican, and they go insane. But yeah, like, that's the D-bag guy right there. That's him. Those two are awesome patriots, though. Standing up, probably surrounded by racist Democrats, hateful Antifa bullcrap. These two are awesome. But anyway, so yeah. So stuff it's coming unraveled. Like, this election was rigged. It was stolen, and in the famous words, soon to be famous words of Sidney Powell, we're going to take it back for the country, for the people, we the people, not the crooked politicians, like, lining their pockets. The rich get richer, the poor get poorer. Like, this president has done more in the last 4 years for the regular middle class people, or for everyone, than any president in the history since I've been alive. I mean, we see presidents get elected and make these promises that get them elected, and then they never follow through. Or when they half-ass follow through, it's a crappy program that no one can afford, or unemployment freaking skyrockets. And I mean, that it's all politics. They go up to Capitol Hill, argue for a few years, get a freaking paycheck, sitting on their butts, not getting anything accomplished, while the regular, everyday people work our asses off and barely can make ends meet. So we have a president that comes in that he may have a dirty mouth at the beginning, or he says things that people aren't accustomed to seeing on Capitol Hill or aren't accustomed to hearing, but goes up there, says he's going to drain the swamp, and he starts draining the freaking swamp, and everybody starts coming unhinged. Oh no, my dirty money, my kickback, blah, 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 blah. So, I mean, God bless Donald Trump. God bless the Republicans that are sticking up for patriotism, for the truth, for our right to vote, for against these crooked people. Like, this is ridiculous. Even the Democrats should want a free and fair election, should want everything looked into. Like, if you think Joe Biden won fairly, fair and square, then what's the problem with us checking it out? Huh? What's the problem? Why are people quitting their jobs? Why are people trying to rush the certification process? Why is there death threats? People being called racist? Secret freaking fraud systems, voting systems, money kickbacks. Like, it's ridiculous. So, I mean, crazy. So anyways, like and subscribe, please, and thank you. And this has just been some good old breaking political news this morning. And my name's Jamie, and thank you very much.